Welcome to the maiden edition of Nkem Ukwa. My name is Nkem Ukwa from the channel Boba and Cheesy, where me and my wife speak about faith, marriage, and the lifestyle. But in this channel, we're going to be singling down to the guys, to the men, to the brotherhood, man. So we're going to be speaking about fatherhood, and we're going to be speaking about being a good husband. And our scriptures are anchored on Ephesians 5:23, where it says, husbands should love their wife like Christ loved the church. And Proverbs 22, where it says, you should train up your child in the way you should go. So in this channel, we're going to be discussing fatherhood. We're going to be discussing husbandry. Yeah, write it down. We're going to be discussing husbandry, how to become better fathers, how to become better husbands. With conversations, we're going to be very practical. We're going to water everything down. So this channel, get ready. Maybe you put R18. Maybe I'll put in I'll be putting R18 somewhere, but it's going to be very, very open. We're going to break it down. We're going to break down all the walls of Jericho that happens inside marriage and outside marriage. So yeah, stay tuned. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and stay hooked on it. Today on our first episode, I'm going to be introducing one of my special guests, the first guest in Meet Nkem Ukwa. His name is Andy Arumse. Everybody give up Andy Arumse. Woo! Why you calling yourself?
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, Andy. So today our topic is we're going to be speaking about dealing with temptations as a husband. As a husband, should you cheat? People say that Abuja or Lagos men, what do they say? Lagos men cheat a lot. So as a husband, should you cheat? Now that you're married to one woman, now that God has cleaved you to one person, now that God has made you one with one person, now all the parasites, one of my friends used to call it chikalas. I forgot what to call it. It's calling one very funny name. All of them are out there for you now that you have more money, now you have more stability.
Yes.
I think that it attracts girls a lot. I
think the moment you have this band, that's it.
I remember one time I was facing temptation as a single man, a single Christian that loves Jesus. And the man told me something. He said, Nkem, now you're complaining that girls are pursuing you. Just imagine when you marry. He said it to amplify. I said, sir, it's marriage that will solve it. So I was with this notion that marriage was going to solve my sexual, all this temptation, that when they see my wife, guess what? They just put Mr. No longer Master. Mr. Nkem Lake Kazoo. So yeah, Andy Arumse, are you married?
Yeah, of course I'm married.
Are you sure?
Of course.
Have you cheated your wife before?
No.
What's the secret? In these days where you see hot babes and...
See, the first principle is when it comes to women, like before you got married, there's a pattern of habits you tend to have before going into marriage. So as a bachelor, let me start from there. As a bachelor, you are used to frolicking with different ladies. Is Ngozi today, Nkechi tomorrow, Benita next tomorrow, Cynthia. You are training your mind not to be stable, right? There's this drive you're always looking for. There's this pursuit you're always after. So if you see marriage as the solution to that problem, then you are indeed not ready for marriage. That's it.
Marriage is not a solution to knacks.
Exactly, it's not. Because the thing is, when it comes to marriage, it's a whole different ball game. Marriage is a covenant. We've learned that over and over again, and it goes beyond the sex in it. It goes beyond,
the sex is
everything. But it goes beyond that, right? So if you are used to testing varieties, and then you have your wife, you get bored of her maybe at some point. So I always say, even from the get-go, you try as much as possible to mitigate your sexual relations with other people before getting married. Some people can tell you they have crazy life. This is not to kick down or talk down on people that have had that experience and they are willing to change for good, But when you come into marriage, you tend to face those difficult truths, right? You tend to challenge those things that you try to run away from. So how do you control yourself when that social media you are on, there's this girl now that is always responding to your or sending replies to your stories, right? How do you respond to them? You know, the moment you start sending messages back and forth with them and you delete it after you have started. That is it.
Hey, like you just hit
yes
one word.
So for you to
delete
exactly. So for you to be able to stay accountable to your wife and to make sure you don't give room for the devil to sneak in or to allow your past kick itself back into you, what you need to do is you have to stay accountable to your wife. If there's something going on, expose it. I remember one time there's this lady, I met her in Jos. My wife was schooling in Jos then, so I wanted to go and surprise her birthday. You know, so I looked online. I was looking for a vendor that can do surprises, can throw surprises for her. So I contacted this lady. Someone gave me this lady's number. I've not seen the girl, right? So we were just chatting on Instagram, then we switched to WhatsApp, and then she told me what I needed to do, of which I did, and then we made all the plans. I got to Jos, made the arrangement. So it was that morning when she came into the hotel room, I saw her. I was like, okay, this is who delivered what I asked. And the girl was looking very
Sagade.
But you know, it's my woman's birthday. I cannot look at that way. So I had to everything passed, you know, move past the period when after the whole stuff, this was like months later. The girl did not delete my number. I was still seeing her stories. I was still catching up with her status. She was still seeing mine and she was responding to mine and all of that. And then she will now be putting some kind of hot test traps. I looked at it. Messages started going back and forth, but I had to catch myself in the middle. And then I sat down with my now wife, my then girlfriend, and I told her, oh, there's this girl, I have to delete her number on my phone.
Are you serious?
Yes, I told her, yes, I had to. If I don't tell her, it means I'm keeping it away, and what you don't confront will come back and bite.
Cheating starts from even
It starts from that, you see.
Conciliation, when you...
Exactly. The moment you start concealing the idea of talking to somebody else, you enjoy chatting with somebody else. The time you're supposed to sit down and talk to your wife, you're on your phone, and then you are responding to one message. Gradually, these ladies, they tend to creep into your mind. Then, especially these vultures, I call them vultures because they are just there
strange
to devour.
Woman.
They are there to devour you.
Strange woman.
They know you are married. They know you are into something serious. They don't want any commitment. What they want is, as long as I meet you, you give me money, we dance around, we move around, do whatever we like. Then, you know, and then some people get caught in that trap. You find yourself giving less attention to your wife because you always want to keep up with these other ladies you are going out with. You know, financially you are not stable because every single time you are spending money unnecessarily, whether you have
exposure,
even
that.
Yes,
you see that,
and then you tend to put your wife in harm's way. You know, men don't think about it this way. You know, sometimes I think about it. Okay, this lady now, if I start going out with her, what happened? I don't know her psychological history. I don't know if she's moving mad. You don't know all these things. You then associate yourself with them, and then one gets obsessed with you and starts stalking your wife. They follow her to her workplace. Everything about your wife, they start, you know, going back behind your back to trace and all of that. Those things are dangerous and are crippled. You don't know what these ladies are doing. They might start with, no strings attached, let us just go ahead and enjoy ourselves. And then they get hooked on you. Once they get hooked on you, they won't tell you that they have changed their mind though from no strings attached. They are now looking at, why is he spending so much time with the wife? And that's the time they start calling you. When they know you'll be with the wife, so that the wife will know.
Yeah, this guy.
So that the wife will know.
You're speaking of experience.
No, it's not experience.
Okay.
I'm just.
I want to touch one point.
Okay,
that exposure.
Yes.
I remember one time too that when you don't expose, sometimes I would just, you know, in the whole playful mode.
Yes.
Someone send me a message and I'll reply playfully. You say, and I'm like, hi, if I see this thing,
how will she feel?
Guess what? I will not delete it. Do you know one time my wife, we were arguing about it. She's like, why would you delete something that you don't know is bad? I'm like, sometimes we make mistakes. And I used to tell her that to conceal it. You just conceal each other, fight doesn't set. That you won't see it. That me, in my mind, I didn't mean anything, but when I went back to it, I felt that this was wrong.
Exactly.
But so much from what I said that really made sense, that really opened my eyes. It says, even trying to hide it makes it worse. It means that there's something that you're trying to do. So most time I feel that cheating in marriage starts from where husbands start concealing things, and the moment you can expose something in your marriage, the Bible says if he that conceals the same will not prosper. Yeah. So you can, if you conceal that stuff, you are not going to, that thing that you're trying to break out from is not going to come out. You have to see a babe, see this girl.
Hold on, Kim. One of the things I was able to do also to keep everything in check, right, was ensuring that my wife has access to my phone. Yes.
Good.
Because
do you know the beauty of carrying your phone like this? Carry your phone like that.
Just drop it in. You just drop it and
you walk
away. You are sleeping. You are not looking for how you hide your phone.
Those days of our past. I remember one time
you put
one girl
password WhatsApp. You lock the phone.
That time I remember one babe like that I had. She opened my phone. Hi, Nkem, who are you talking to? She opened one chat with a strange fellow. She took a chat. I said, what are you doing?
What gave you the right to go through my phone?
Not that I used to visit and visit babes. Those days I'll hide my phone inside the boot. Like I'm coming to see you.
You hide your phone?
I'll throw my phone in the boot. They don't say, I'll call them. I'll tell them I'm coming. I'll not throw the phone in my boot. Where's your phone? I'm like, no, don't worry. I don't put ones in my way. I don't know how, till today, I can't remember how I always skip that lie. But because of you're living a life of sin, you cannot even open yourself. But right now, one of the beauties that I have in my life that I can tell my wife, leave my phone, I just walk out. Can you do that?
Of course.
That's
what I told you. One of the things I've been able to do is ensure she has access to my phones. And then I tend to be very open and discuss it.
Do you know this is very important?
Yes.
Like even men that are having issues with cheating their wives, if you do this thing,
you regulate yourself.
Do you know that? Like
you regulate yourself.
You just know. But some people are smart too. If you just give that phone, but it's you that will do it with your mind. It's exactly the other mind. I'm just doing it.
So have you cheated on your wife? Wait first. How long have you been dating?
This guy. Oh, this is 7 years. 7 years, and I have not lacked any. I have not. The only one girl I've been knocking for the past 7 years. No, I've not cheated. Have I been tempted?
A lot. You sure?
I have been close to. I've been tempted. But I'm not saying this. But sometimes you would be boasting that you've not cheated on your wife before, and it that makes you feel as if you are better than men that must have fallen before. So this is one thing that God has always called my heart is that you that have not cheated like this now is my grace.
It's not your power.
It's my grace that's supporting you.
Exactly.
Even those that have made mistakes in the past.
Because the flesh is weak.
How old are you married? See, because sometimes those guys that have fallen or have made a mistake.
Yeah.
You're not better than them. That's the scoring grade of God is not about how you sin. If you lie and if you commit adultery, it's the same thing. It's actually the same thing with God. So most times, even if you've not cheated before, it doesn't make you better than the guy that have fallen before or that have made a mistake before. Yes. That guy is still up to you. Many people, I don't want to call names. I don't call names. So yes, one thing that's helped me not to cheat on my wife. These two things have helped me so much. Proverbs chapter 7 to 10. One day I traveled to Lagos. Hey, Lake Kazoo. I went to myself in Lagos. If I'm going to Lagos, I don't spend more than 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I went to Lagos. I went to Lagos. He came stronger than I've ever. Sometimes daily naps the wife. I think that's one of the ways that actually we should talk about it. One of the ways. So for 2 weeks I've been living as a saint, and there was pressure, and it came. I was looking for a way to solve it. I said, I remember one verse I used to read, Proverbs 7. Do you know I started reading Proverbs 7 till 9? As I read it, as if I see God just open me. That fine baby I seen, you now see her as a devil. You do. Let me tell you this short story that someone shared to me. That there's this guy. He was the only son of his mom, and there's this girl he was dating. He was trying to knock this girl heart shape, trying to knock this girl, trying to do stuff with this girl, trying to get enter this babe. The girl was saying no. The girl used to knock before in a period relationship. The girl used to do things. The girl was saying no. The girl was saying no. The girl was saying no. Until one day, the guy locked door. I think almost swallowed the kiss. He said, "Is that I die today or we have sex?" So, as the guy said, "You know what? Let me tell you the truth. When I said it to you, I found out that you are the only son of your mother. And I've not told you before, but I'm HIV positive." Since the guy's country was like this when I was trying to... the moment she said that thing, you know, they go deliverance. So you see, that's what Proverbs 7:10 does to me. It just all those God will say, you know, you did the devil thing, and the devil used to tell you, don't worry, just do it now. God will forgive you. And that's the truth. God will actually forgive. He said, just do it, don't forget. I'm like, oh my God. And the next thing, as I just read that verse, he will start telling everything. Say, this girl will steal your money, she has taken mighty men, she's a strange woman, she has, these are trained. Guy, all the things just there.
Well, I think that's something that has worked profound for you, but for people now, other men now watching now, what is their experience? Because some people, when the urge comes like that,
it's unfortunately
they can't read. What they are looking at is they are swiping on their phone. Personally, at my own level, I travel a lot.
Yeah.
And then what I tend to do is I'm always on call with my wife. We are always FaceTiming each other. Not audio call, we are FaceTiming each other.
How this with this? This what happens. Sometimes when I travel, when I see my wife, my sexual urge increases. Oh God, it's hot, babe. Let me go. So sometimes when I travel, I actually don't want to call my wife.
Well, I do. I
talk to some people when I'm about to sleep. Sure, I'm like, any girl that comes to me, I'm like, she's just hitting brick wall. Yeah, I got to continue.
Anyway, but the way it has worked for me is whenever I'm not like physically available with her, I make sure I
no, that FaceTime is good because guess what? You always know. Do you know I learned actually it's actually good. Whoever that constant communication will always keep in check.
Yes, go ahead. It keeps her knowing that you are thinking about her.
Hallelujah.
At the same time, it helps you avoid unnecessary movements. Like you stay accountable. For instance, now I know and she knows that when I travel, our call is usually video calls, right? There's not too much thinking to it. We just want to call video calls. It's not like we're trying to check what this person is doing. It just happens, right? That's one of the things. That's why they say marry your friend. It's very important because you guys can synergize in anything you are doing without too much process. You don't have to start explaining why we need to do this. You know, it just happens. It flows naturally. So that way, it will give me, when I have this consciousness that okay, any moment from now, my wife call will enter. Which guy wants to sit down with? You know, when you pick, you just pick the call now. And then you are talking to her.
I'll just face the wall like, hey, babe, don't worry. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
So you know that popular saying, they say if you don't want a thief to steal something, entrust that thing to you. Yeah, that's not. So the moment
I can't continue.
the moment you have told your wife that, see this girl, the guy in the B. See, this is what. So I've stepped off. I don't want the communications to get, or probably you guys are talking and the next thing he gets calling you baby. You can just playfully say it to your wife, let her start hearing, because sometimes when they pick up your phone and then read some conversations, they tend to read it out of context. We are guys, we are really used to girls flirting, and we can just out of our mind reply. you know. But then they take it very seriously, and then your wife.
If they understand, I want something that
Yes.
wives, they know what the girl is doing.
Exactly.
Also, you can be naive.
It's the same. It's
Me,
the same
I
way
can be
with
naive. I'm like, I don't tell me that. Okay, this girl like, I'm like, beg,
I
this
beg,
girl, me
but-
and this girl that I was drinking. I say, be careful.
There are several times where I'll carry my wife and we'll go somewhere and we'll go and talk to who, maybe I'll introduce her to somebody and my wife will be like, you know that girl like you, right? I'll say, I beg, get her to try. My mind may even be there. What are you talking about? And then it's later. I'll not it's like, that's it.
She they worry.
And then she'll be like, but I told you now, you know, so we need to pay more attention. When they point it out, you know that something is happening there. You just take a step back because of the respect you share. You respect her, you respect yourself, you respect the relationship, you respect what you guys stand for. So that way you avoid embarrassment, you know. So I think that's a very good way to manage the whole situation.
Actually, I'm doing that to work. One way that can work is, ladies, this is very important for us. You must understand.
It's how serious you become. That's it.
This is very serious for us. We're not saying that if you don't do it, we'll not gonna find it elsewhere.
No.
So that's not it. That's not it. But this is what pleading.
It's important.
This thing. When I say this one thing, do this one thing, you have solved 80% of your marriage. Knacks. Ogbonga. What they call it? Jesus.
It's very important.
It can save a soul.
Feed him.
No.
It is food. Feed him
That is it though.
properly. Because I am tired, it's not there. I'm not ready. When you get married, I think one of the most profound things I learned during counseling while we were getting married was the fact that you have to see sex in marriage as a responsibility. You owe it to your wife, and your wife owes it to you. It's a responsibility. So when you are responsible for something, you don't do it because you feel good, you just want to do it. You do it because you have to do it, whether you are ready for it or not.
It has saved the soul.
Because if you don't,
You know, sometimes you just come out from one knack experience. You also shoulders high like this, you know, pride. You close sales like this. Pride. You said if you don't.
when
See,
no, if you don't, your husband tend not to think properly. Let me tell you, we think well when we have performed properly. We want to see you and say yes.
I want to see that you know, that jiggy, that
Finish.
those. You're banned from the channel. You know what
We are finished. You know?
What's it, Cloud9 vibration?
Exactly. Want to see
I
you there.
like, I want your black eyes to be like in your head. Like your black spot come.
By the time we stand up and go and take water, we want to come back and see you. You are going to your video, you just sleep. Come back and look.
Hey, Arusi.
Yes.
All right, yeah, I think the most important thing that we're missing, one thing we're really missing that really helps men not go out there and like to get to keep marriage there is, in fact, it's the most important thing to me, is the salvation. Like I remember when I was like accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and personal Savior. That's where the solution starts from. Actually, all this we've said before are just things that will follow after it. But this one is where it starts from. Today, I don't cheat. I don't cheat on my wife, not just because I love her. Like that's not the reason why I'm not cheating on her. It's just because that's not the only reason. If that's the only reason, sometimes she's annoying me. Sometimes she's annoying me. But I love Jesus. I've been in many temptations in my life, and that was what was in my eyes. I love Jesus. Jesus does not want me to do this. So it's in that relationship when you receive Jesus Christ, He empowers you. I was a humanizer. This guy too. In fact, from his face, you know that it's Jesus that saved this guy. I was a humanizer before. I came from a point where I did honor relationship. I did honor anything that was very sacred between me and another woman. But since I found Jesus Christ, I have found solace. I'm a shadow of myself. Just sometimes I think, is this me? Sometimes I'm like, is this? is this me? I mean, in the midst of the temptation, I'm trying to run away. Those days where I had to say, oh God, thank you.
Let me tell you something.
God, thank you. So salvation
is very important. Let me just chip in something there. I will tell you one story. But before I get there, let me say this. You say love your wife as Christ loved the church.
Yeah.
You know, Jesus Christ is the perfect example of how a man is supposed to love his wife.
Hallelujah.
As a father, you are supposed to be the priest of the house. You are the shepherd that leads the house. So you have to take on that example that Christ has laid for us, and you cannot get to that place of understanding that manner of love, that manner of sacrifice, that manner of selflessness if you don't commune and understand and have a relationship with Jesus. I remember when I traveled one time, I went to Adamawa State, and we lodged at one hotel. I wanted to do something real quick, and so there's this lady that, you know, chatted me up. You're in town. I know you're in town. I was like, yeah. Where are you guys? I told her the hotel. She was like, okay, she's coming. She came to see me. I was with some of my friends that also came to see me as I came around. So we were just talking, gisting and all of that. But I noticed she was not leaving. She did not have plans of going anywhere. She wanted to sit down. So, you know, then the thoughts came. I'll be like, say this one just fire catapult, you know. It was just, the thought was just coming, so we went down to the bar, got small drinks, came back, drink, you know, wine. We're talking about, catching up about old stuff. 9 p.m, 10:30, you're still in my room. So she was like, do these guys have robe? Let me just quickly shower and I'm tired of putting on. I sat down there. For a minute, I was conflicted. Because a lot of things at that moment, you know, before then it was just cruise, you know. But when it was actually now
life and death, this is now
choose the line. You know, I sat on the bed while she entered the restroom, and I was like, I'm coming, let me go and get something downstairs. And she was like, okay. I picked up everything I had in that room. Funny enough, that journey I did not travel with luggage. I was just with what I was putting on. I traveled intentionally that if I'm spending extra days there, I'll just get new clothes. I'll just get t-shirts, trousers, boutiques anywhere. I'll just get them and push. So I had my wallet, everything on the table while she was in there taking her time. I picked everything up, put it in my pocket. I was like, I'm coming. And I stepped out of the door. As I stepped out of the door, I was just saying, do not fall for this. You know, I was praying, I went down, I had to correct myself, and I paid for another room. Immediately I got down, I asked them, do you guys have any free room? They said yes. I said, good. I moved my card, paid. I went to the room and laid down. I called my wife video call.
Yeah, this is where you have solved the situation.
We started talking. I was just telling her how much I missed her and stuff. What was she doing? Okay, I'll soon be back. I would just stopped. And then my phone started ringing. This guy started calling me. I ghosted her. But the point is, I was able to avoid it because I was reminded by the Holy Spirit about my covenant with God. And when you have covenants, your witness is God. You are having a covenant with, and God is validating it, right? So you have to always stay conscious of that fact. Even if I did not have money to pay for another hotel room that night, I would have found somewhere else to go and sleep that night, because I knew if I had done that, there was no going back. It would just become, to go back to the running spree. You start moving. Okay, this guy have come to dinner. Let me just stay 2 extra days. For like will come call you. Come and see me. Another one down. Now you see yourself you have gone back to that rat race. You know, back to that vicious cycle, and then it does not bring anything positive to you. It does not add any value to you. You know, you just tend to lose yourself when you keep doing that. So I feel giving your life to Christ is very, very important, and it's going to help you, guide
go to the Bible,
Yes.
go to Bible believing church, have friends that are married and love their wives. One thing that's even helped me love my wife better is when I see a man that loves his wife.
Yes.
Most times you cannot even, I've learned this stuff that you cannot actually even develop a thick shell against conversations. Let me sit down beside a guy talking about how he's going to cheat on his wife, and I'm part of that conversation, even though I'm not saying anything. Just for me, just being there for 5, 10, 20 minutes, do you know that I can go back and be influenced?
Yes.
Just me sitting down for someone that dishonors his wife, that does this, treats his wife anyhow. Do you know that I can go back home and my wife can do something to me, and I'll see things in the light of what that guy said, even if I did not listen to him. So most times, I always want to have a circle where people honor their wives. I don't want to be, if you have 7 friends, 6 of them cheat on their wives, you will cheat on their wife. In fact, as a married man, what I would just say is that as a married man, most of your friends should be married people. That's one thing that's also helped me, is that most of your friends should see things, because a single guy has a different kind of life.
Of course.
A bachelor is not a married man.
At all.
So he sees more frailty to life. But one thing that also help you in bringing that bond and helping you foster your relationship with God is where you have that community of believers, being a good church where they preach the word of God. Come to a place where you can come into a conclusion that you fall in love with Jesus, because I don't cheat on my wife because I love her alone. I love her. That's evident. But I love Jesus too much to disappoint him. And even if he tells me that he's going to forgive me if I sleep with this girl. But when he tells me that I would like you to do that, when he tells me I don't want you to do that, when he tells me I'll be sad if you do this, I just don't want to do it. Even if I know he's going to forgive me, even if I know he's going to restore me, I don't want to do it. Why? I love him. And that scripture says that if you love me, you obey my commandments. Thank you so much, people. We've come to a conclusion of our episode today, where we speak about husbands and fathers. This is Nkem Ukwa. I'm going to be talking about this is the guy's room. This is the guy's place. So in case you're not giving life to Christ, this is a call for you to give your life to Christ. This is a call for you to come into a Bible believing church and start that relationship afresh. And guess what? That your home, that your marriage, that girl you're about to marry, and that dream you have, that dream wedding and that dream marriage you have is going to be a reality. Jesus will deliver that for you. He will make you. That's the first thing he's going to do. He's going to make you. So hit subscribe on that button. If you know anybody that would love the channel, please spread the channel, share it everywhere, put it in your social media, let everyone subscribe. I want to hit 500 subscribers before the end of this month. So praise God. Thank you so much. I love you so much. I don't say, do you have any word for them?
No, that will be all from us.
Thank you so much, guys.
Hit the subscribe button.
Hit it though.